What do you guys think of the shelves, huh? Coming together, ain't it? I got this one empty. Got some of my magic cards here. Still sorting those out. I don't know what I should put there though. You guys got any suggestions for me? I'm thinking my plushes, just to have like a place for you guys to look at and to see. What's going on, everybody? Super Noob 796 here, and welcome to another video. Today we got a different type of video for you guys. I did say in the update video that I wanted to branch out a little bit more and do stuff involving Nintendo products and Pokemon related content, but not necessarily TCG videos. So if you guys want to see what the new year has coming for us, check out the update video. But anyway, I want to make this one. So today's video is going to be things that I think they should do with the Nintendo Switch. Now, before I go into this list is not in any particular order. This isn't like the first thing on the list is the last thing I want, and the last thing on the list is the first thing I want the most. That's not it in the slightest. I get better at this YouTube thing. I'm running out of breath already. What this list is just, you know, stuff I want on the Switch. I will take anything I put on this list, one or the other. But without further ado, let's get into the list. First thing I think they should do on a Nintendo Switch is kind of like a personal thing, in my opinion, for a very niche audience. Not the reason people get a Nintendo Switch, but I do think that they should add the rest, not the rest, I will preface that, most of the Five Nights at Freddy's series on Nintendo Switch. The reason I say that is because they have the first 4 games on Nintendo Switch so far, and the only game I can think of off the top of my head, unless there's something I'm missing in one of the other games that would not work, is Ultimate Custom Night. Now I will agree with that. That should not be on the Switch. That's, you know, 50 characters. You need an entire keyboard to play that game. Look, you see this right here? You see that right there? That's a keyboard. You need that to play that game. There is 50 characters. I'm pretty sure you use a third of that keyboard, and it only tells you what it does once. So I do think Ultimate Custom Night is the one exception. And one thing that boggles my mind about the Five Nights at Freddy's games, the one that they don't have that seems it would be made for console is FNAF World. Now hear me out, I know FNAF World was a disaster. Scott said that it wasn't canon anymore. It was canon, and it was partially canon, then it wasn't canon anymore. I think it has canon elements now, like the books. I don't know. This man he's trying to tell a story with fragmented parts, but I feel like he keeps changing shit. So even though FNAF World is majorly hated by the community so much, I do think that it should be on the Switch as well, just because, you know, it's not really a staple in the FNAF community. It was a staple on how not to make a FNAF game, but it's super simple to where any console could play it. You could play it on Switch, PS4, Xbox One. Pretty sure you could play it on the Atari if you really wanted to. And plus, again, the Switch has VR capabilities. Why wouldn't you put FNAF VR in it? Like, why? It's on PlayStation. It's on PlayStation 4. Is there a contract saying they can only be on PC and PlayStation 4? If not, Nintendo is missing a big audience, especially when the game first released. You kidding me? Make a VR headset and let your audience play a VR game that isn't a regular game you made turned into VR. Which is actually a good segue into the next thing on the list. VR in general. Let's do it. Let's get on this. Let's go. As I said before, the Switch has built-in VR capability. Now, unless they've released something that I'm not aware of, the only way you can get an official Nintendo VR headset is through Labo. And if you lived under a rock, Labo is $80 cardboard you buy from Walmart or GameStop or wherever that Nintendo puts out. Now I don't know about you, but I don't want my VR headset to fall because I've been sweating from dodging bullets in Super Hot. Make a $20 plastic headset, you put the Switch in, use the Joy-Cons for the controls, or if you want to make better controls that are more suited, charge as much as you do for the Joy-Cons. Charge $80 for VR controls. That way you can use all 5 fingers instead of just, you know, a grab and let go option, and run it like that. And also, let's get the VR games on here. Give us Super Hot. Give us Beat Saber. Give us VR Chat. Give us something that's actually a VR game that isn't a regular game turned into VR. You have Modesty? Yes, that's a game. I combine 2 words of one game to make one game. You have Mario Odyssey, that has VR. You have Breath of the Wild, that has VR. I can't think of any other games that have VR off the top of my head because those are the big two. Why are you not doing this? Why are you not using this system to its full potential? I want you guys to know, I actually went on the Nintendo store and typed in virtual reality, nothing popped up. I typed in VR, nothing popped up and actually involving virtual reality either. It was like VR and it would be like Versus or some shit. It wasn't virtual reality. Plus you could take older games and make little mini demo things to where it would be like if they were in VR. Or if you're able to do it, make those games full-fledged in VR. Like imagine this, imagine Star Wars Pod Racers for N64. Imagine that shit in VR. Imagine you playing Ocarina of Time in VR. Imagine Super Mario 64 in VR. Alright, you fucking rabbit. Where you at now? Here, bunny bunny. Okay, this time, you little bastard! Oh god, I can see the bone. Actually, you know what? I don't think we'll do that one. Or better yet, think about this for a second. You remember how they have Coliseum and Showdown and all that other stuff where it's a battle simulator essentially for Pokemon? Imagine that shit in VR! Imagine you're the trainer, right? You're the trainer. You're the what's the word I'm looking for? You're the perspective of the trainer, and you throw a Pokeball, right? And then the Pokemon appears in front of you. And you can like, whenever you're selecting your move, it shows like on the left-hand side what you can do. And then as you're thinking, like your Pokemon will do dances or whatever the fuck. And if it takes a long time, it turns to you like, hey, hurry up, we're running out of time. And if it's something huge, like just for all shits and giggles, Giratina, when you throw the Pokeball, instead of it appearing in front of you, it glows. And the only way to see it is to turn 180 degrees behind you. And this massive monster with 6 legs and a beak is right behind you under your command. That sounds fucking awesome! I want that! The Pokemon community wants that, let's get on it! Last on the agenda, I think, is not really gonna happen anytime soon if they do it, but it's something I would love to see. I would love to see every Pokemon game from 3rd gen backwards put into Virtual Console on the Switch. See, I still got this shit Pokemon related. This is a Pokemon channel. I said Pokemon. Now hear me out. You have red, blue, and yellow on a 3DS. You have gold, silver, and crystal on a 3DS. Now, I'll make a little note in here if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure we never got a Virtual Console of 3rd gen. We got the remakes, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. We never got any Virtual Console of any of the Gen 3 games. I think that you should put all those games, including remakes, Fire Red and Leaf Green, onto the Switch. Make it a nice little border, like if you were to play on the N64 with the Game Boy little device thing that you could put in. I don't know, I didn't grow up on an N64. And you can play it on the big screen. Like, think about it. And when I was growing up, I grew up on 3rd gen. Ruby was my first game. I had no idea you could play Pokemon Ruby on the big screen through your GameCube. And even if I did, we didn't know how to do it. I was a farm boy. We had no idea. So for little kids to have a way to play Pokemon games on the big screen, that'd be a dream come true for them. That was a big dream come true for me. Now granted we have Sword and Shield, but that's the first one that's truly intended for the big screen. None of the other ones were. Plus, imagine this, we do not have an official English release of Pokemon Green. We just don't. So, what if during the launch of Gen 1, they said, hey Americans, or anybody who speaks English, here's a surprise, we're gonna release an official English copy of Pokemon Green that is only available on the Nintendo Switch. Everyone would lose their minds. Granted, it would be another copy of Red and Blue, but for hardcore Pokemon fans who've never played Pokemon Green because it's in Japanese only and they don't speak Japanese or read Japanese, that'd be a dream come true. And also, imagine a dad, right, who grew up on these games, and they just bought little Jimmy Pokemon Sword and Shield to get into the games. Now, little Jimmy has beaten Sword and Shield now, and he's come to his dad or his mom and it's like, hey, I want to play what you played as a kid. Well, you're an adult now, you may not have kept your old Game Boy. So now, you had the Switch, you can buy it on the Switch. And imagine if they can make it to where you could do, not multiplayer like on Let's Go, God no. But you could battle each other. If you have another Switch, you can battle each other, or you can do a thing to where it shows 2 separate screens like in Showdown, where you can battle each other in Showdown at the same time. You can do something like that. But it's only allowed you to use Pokemon that you've caught in the game. And both people could use whatever Pokemon. So like if little Jimmy wanted to use Articuno, Mom and Dad can use Articuno as well. Now I would say all the Pokemon games on the Switch. I'm down for that. But I doubt they would put 5th, 6th, and 7th gen on the Switch for a number of reasons. Number one, it's 2 screens from the DS. The Switch only has 1 screen, so they'd have to do some very weird layout to get 5th, 6th, and 7th gens on the Switch. Just some weird shit. Second, I think that the least likely candidates to be put on there will be 6th and 7th gen because to me anyway, they're still too new. Granted, X and Y came out in 2013, about 6 years ago. I still feel like that's a little too new to be put on the Switch. What was it, Black and White? They came out in 2011, so they get a pass because, no, that's nearly 10 years ago. So they are more qualified than X and Y and Sun and Moon. And thirdly, just, I feel like they're still marketing for the 3DS, if you ask me. They're not making games for it anymore, but they're not obsolete either. So I think if they ever announce that the 3DS will be obsolete, that's the starting point that we would need. It'd be years down the line before we get those games on the Switch, but that would be the starting line to where you could run toward the finish, which is getting them on the Switch. But that is just what I want to see on the Switch. I want to know in the comments, what do you guys think of the Switch? I could be wrong, I could be right. If anything changes while making it in these videos, I will make a note either at the end of the video or wherever I talk about this stuff in the video, so that way I can say, hey, I said I wanted this, they announced this is happening. So that's that. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, comment below, share the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, helps me as a whole. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.